Once upon a time. Thread by Truth Bomb. The Plan. Chris West. Part 1. I'm going to tell you about the greatest plan in the world. I'm going to tell you about a beautifully good princess, and two strapping young men, who chose a totally different path than the elite dark cabal, who were in the same circles but never conformed to them. I'm going to tell you how these three have created a plan that has literally shaken and shattered our matrix of a reality. Meet the beautiful Snow White. Pure, good, and lovely. She was forced into a marriage where she was nothing more than a breeder for the reptilian royal family, in Diana's words. Who at 19, was forced to marry a man, who would only use her to bear his children, and then she would be thrown aside. She would quickly learn about the horrific crimes of the Queen, and royal family. She would realize they, Queen, ran many of the secret societies, ate, raped and trafficked children, while ritually sacrificing them to Satan. How does a good and beautiful princess handle this? She's in a situation with no control and powerless. Her boys, she had little control over. They were to be groomed to take roles of power and authority. She was told, she was nothing more than a breeder. Her relationship with the Queen was horrible and she hated the Queen. And the Queen hated her. Snow White. She even specifically stated that the Queen was evil. Where does this leave her? A major threat. Major. And she knew this. So, what does a beautiful, good princess do, when she knows her fate is going to be death? Unless. And, who wants nothing more than to bring down the evil? To revenge what was done to her and her sons. Who did she trust to help her flee? JFK Jr. and Donald Trump. See, she knew they were good and they knew she was good. The plan started after JFK was assassinated. The plan to take down the dark cabal. Donald and JFK Jr. were a huge part of that plan, and so was the good and beautiful Princess Diana. Who better to take down the royals but an insider? And an insider whose life was destroyed by the royals. See, JFK Jr. and Donald Trump knew the royals. They knew the royals had to be destroyed, as they were the figurehead of the crown, and the crown owned the United States. They knew we would never be freed unless the crown and the banking system was demolished. Diana was the perfect kingpin. In the summer of 1995, a secret meeting was arranged between Diana and JFK Jr. An arrangement was made and her fake death would be plotted out and planned, and her place in the plan would be established. The cover for details was plotted. Then in December of 1995, 6 months later, she and Donald Trump just end up at a charity event together, and even coincidentally ended up at the same table. See, Donald played his part well. First, flattering her, then going on and on about her in a less flattering way. But that was important. It kept all suspicion at bay. After her divorce was finalized, a handwritten letter was sent to Donald from Diana. This, I believe, was the go-ahead. The plot and cover would begin to unfold. Now she died almost exactly 1 year from her divorce. And she died exactly 2 years from meeting JFK Jr. And JFK Jr. died exactly, almost to the date, 2 years after Diana. No coincidence. See, there is no way that Diana and JFK Jr. would be able to execute their role alive. There wasn't any choice and their lives were in danger. So 3 short weeks before Diana's death, enter Dodi. Just 3 weeks. That was it. That was the extent of their relationship. See, he was the cover, but he was also the connection to the good side of the House of Saud. Think Godfather 3. His grandfather was the doctor of King Salman. See, JFK Jr. and Donald Trump knew there were 2 sides to the House of Saud. And they knew that the good side, Salman, wanted to break free from the bad side, Prince Al-Walid. See, the bad side of the House of Saud was funding most of the corruption. They were a big part of the funding to the crown. Donald Trump and JFK Jr. arranged with them, through Dodi, that if they, good side of the House of Saud, would keep Diana safe, they would free them from the bad side that had been running the show, Al will lead. And that by eliminating the bad side, you eliminate the funding to the dark cabal, crown, and free the Salmon side of the evil mob. In exchange for their freedom, Diana is kept safe and helps take down the royals with all her inside information. Because remember, the good side of the House of Saud needed Diana's knowledge of the royal connections to take down the bad side of the House of Saud, which was connected to the crown and funding the royals and the corruption. Remember, in the very beginning of the drops, the Saudi Arabia takedown was so important, because it cut the funding ties to all the corruption. They had to be the first to go. They were very important. Without their ties being cut, nothing else could have happened. With their funding cut, this put a big squash on the royals' funding, making them weak and neutering their power. You can thank Diana. Enjoy the show. Q Post 100. Queen of England. Who is the Queen of England? How long in power? With power comes corruption. What happened to Diana? What did she find out? Why was she running? Who did she entrust to help her flee? What was the cover? Why is this relevant? Why now? Old? Connection. News. Bad actor. London mayor. Background? Affiliation. Connection to Queen? British M16 agents dead. When? How? What was reported? What really happened? Why is this relevant? Wealth. Corruption. Secret society. Evil? Germany. Merkel. Migrants? Why are migrants important? Assets? What are assets? Define assets. Why are migrants so important? What are assets? Why are migrants so important? What are assets? Why are migrants so important? Operations. Satan? Who follows? What political leaders worship Satan? What does an upside down cross represent? Who wears openly? Why? Who is she connected to? Why is this relevant? Spirit cooking. What does spirit cooking represent? Cult. What is a cult? Who is worshipped? Why is this relevant? Snow White. Godfather 3. Speed. Q. Migrants? Why are migrants important? Assets? What are assets? Define assets. Why are migrants so important? What are assets? Why are migrants so important? What are assets? Why are migrants so important? Operations. Satan? Who follows? What political leaders worship Satan? What does an upside down cross represent? Who wears openly? Why? Who is she connected to? Why is this relevant? Spirit cooking. What does spirit cooking represent? Cult. What is a cult? Who is worshipped? Why is this relevant? Snow White. Godfather 3. Speed. Q.